say the Thursday evening prayer. I don't know where Rabbi Dr. Megiddo Du Bois Hemi is. I did get a chance to talk to her today, so. All right. All right. Here we go. All right. If you have your prayer shawl, you can come on camera with us. Let us go into the Thursday evening Hebraic prayer. Baruch atah Yahuwah Tizavot, bara hashemayim v'ha'aretz, Elohakel shel Avram, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Elohenu, v'al Kodesh, Kadosh Echad Yasha'el, Elohea v'Yeshia, Ashan Natan Lanu, Harachakma. Blessed are you, Yahuwah of the armies, creator of the heavens and the earth, the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, our Elohim, the Holy One of Yasha'el, my El, and my salvation, for giving us the spirit of wisdom. In the name of Yahusha, bless us even tonight as we go forth in your word, in Yahusha's mighty name. Amen. 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 Well, in Matinyahu, the Gospel of Matthew, Besor Matinyahu, Matthew. We're going to look at, because we're talking on the topic of the days of Noah. We're going to be looking at that. Matinyahu, Matthew 24:37. Matthew 24:37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Adam be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Adam be. So we see right here, it talks about a particular day. It mentions the day of Noah as the days of Noah. In other words, Yahusha was teaching that the days of Noah deals with primarily the activity, what was going on regarding the activity with that day. It was a day where there was activities between the Nephilim and mankind. It was an unholy lifestyle that the people engaged in with fallen angels that produce a race of hybrids And because of them going back and forth in illegal and unholy relationships with these fallen ones, it produced a judgment day. Mankind was constantly involving himself with sin. But this particular activity, this sinfulness that mankind was involving themselves with angels, fallen angels, that produced the Nephilim. It provoked the Most High into judging the entire earth. The days of Noah dealt with the activity not just in one place, but the entire earth, the entire planet. So that means that this unholy behavior, this spiritually illegal behavior between man and fallen angels had spread around the entire world. And therefore, it was Yahuwah's, him being provoked, that he had to eliminate that race. Why? Well, that people. Why? Because they had indulged themselves with fallen angelic beings that produced a unholy, illegal hybrid race. So it was never the Almighty's will that hybrids will be birthed. Now, you say, well, hybrids. Well, if you can remember where it was them old movies dealing with the old world that dealt with fallen angels like the Titans and that sort of thing. The part about those movies that dealt with like minotaurs, half man, half horse. I was surprised as I researched these things, that these were reality in those days. And it was the reason that provoked Yahuwah to judge the entire planet, to bring a judgment because of this wickedness that mankind had fallen into, that wickedness that produced an illegal DNA. I remember teaching this a while ago, that mankind had discovered, those in the field of studying DNA, that there were 4 different types of DNA. There's DNA A, DNA B, DNA C, and DNA D. 4 classes, 4 types. DNA A, B, C, D. But then scientists found a strange DNA along the Bering Straits over there by Russia and ancient Khazaria. They found a strange DNA, and because they could not identify this DNA, this particular DNA, with any earthly known DNA, they decide to name it DNA X. And this means that this particular DNA was not from Earth. So if it's not from Earth, then where is it from? Thus, the teaching regarding the Nephilim, Rephaim, and the days of Noah, because their behavior and their mingling with fallen angels produced a DNA that did not belong on the planet. Yahuwah did not sanction, did not call for it. But mankind involving them with satanic fallen angels brought forth this hybrid race. And so the purpose of us going into this historical and theological information is to point that something that went on back then, before the flood, it went on again during Noah's time. And unfortunately, it's happening in this very hour. We need to understand, beloved, that Yah has called us to live clean. And in living clean, he's called us to walk before him and listen to his voice and obey his call. He has called us to be used by him in this hour and in this time of warfare. He has called us. We are called to war. We were born in a time of war. And this is a spiritual war. It is a war that is between Elohim and Hashatan. And according to the scripts, we were made in Yahuwah's or Elohim's, we were made in his image. We are the very image that Yah created. And we represent him. We represent the kingdom. And in representing the kingdom, we are called to do whatever he tells us to do. And so in this hour, as we go forth, we are dealing with warfare on a high level. We are dealing with a high level warfare. And it's unfortunate that many people that attend worship centers, whether you want to call them churches, synagogues, tabernacles, whatever, when people come to meet and to worship, there is a collision between the Ruach HaKodesh and between the spirit of Satan. Satan, Ha-Shaitan, is moving in the midst of people because of their disobedience and their rebellion to the Most High. We see in these circles of worship centers that people claim to worship the Most High, but don't have a clue to what he's saying or what he's doing. And so we base who we are by where we go, who's our leader, And it's not about that, beloved. It's not about attending worship in a congregation or a meeting place that we call church, synagogue, whatever. It's not about that. It's not about that. Yahuwah says, wherever you meet in spirit and in truth, I'm in the midst. So it could be on the outside. You can meet down in the subway, wherever. It's not about the place outside. It's about the place inside. In other words, Yah is living in you and you with him. We are definitely facing dark times. And Yah has commanded me to establish the school regarding the prophets because we are called and we live in a very prophetic time. Oh, this is a prophetic hour we are living in. And it has nothing to do, I'm hearing people say, well, and I was taught this and I used to believe this, that Israel, those that we call Israel over there, in the land, they're actually Gentiles, but we know who true Israel is. We're true Israel, but we're not in the land. So some people refer to the land as true Israel, and it doesn't matter who lives in there that call themselves Israel. Well, that's not the case. Israel is a people that was given land. Let me say that one more time. Israel is a people that was given a land. But our ancestors was kicked out. In fact, AD 70, when they was evicted, they was invaded by Esau, Rome, and the children of Yashael fled into Africa, into South Africa, into Ethiopia, as well as West Africa. In fact, there was a map going back to 1700s. On that map, you'll see where there's Nigeria and Ghana. It is called Negro land. Negro land. This is where the tribe of Yahudah was established after being ran out of Israel in AD 70. So we look at all those things that happened, the transatlantic slave trade, who kicked it off, who was involved with it. You know, we have to look at, number one, the Hamites. The Hamites, along with those from Portugal, Spain, as well as America, they took part in the enslavement. In fact, it began with the Arab slavers. Those that, and this is why I say to my people who want to identify as Muslims, that you need to understand that those that started Islam, the Arabs, enslaved the children of Yosefyisrael and helped sell us into bondage. And this is why we as a people, and I'm gonna wind this up, we have to follow the Most High. We have to worship him in spirit and in truth. And listen as he speaks to us and lead us and guide us into all truth. Because of who we are and what he has called, the Most High has called us to, we are at war. We are at war. And it's a battle. It's a battle of principalities and powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. We are dealing with satanic empires, satanic princes. We're dealing with a belief system, many belief systems that go against Torah, Tanakh, and the Brit Hadashah. We're dealing with people who refuse to follow the Most High. And therefore, they bring about a damnable doctrine and falling into satanic behavior as they did in the days of Noah. The days of Noah dealt with an unbalanced, unholy, a people with a mind that goes straight against Yah. And so my people, I want to encourage you that while we are definitely living in the days of Noah, the same activity, that you've been given power and grace by the Most High Yah, that you don't have to succumb, you don't have to be deceived, you don't have to live in deception, you don't have to be held in bondage by the power of Satan. So as long as you follow the Most High in this hour, in this time, like it was in the days of Noah, you've been given a grace. See, Noah built a boat. Yah told him to build an ark. It was a boat. And he instructed him to get his family, to let his family know that we're going to be escaping judgment that's headed this way. At that particular time, they have not In that generation, they had not undergone no type of weather phenomena. The flood of Noah was a weather phenomena, and it brought forth a judgment. It was a prophetic move. It was a prophetic move. Let me say that one more time, third time. It was a prophetic move. The cancellation of an unholy hybrid people. And when you look at today, in this hour, once again, we see race of people. It don't matter what color your skin is, don't matter your last name. There's a people right now that don't realize that judgment awaits them because they refuse to follow after the Most High. This is what the days of Noah was about. Not only was it about them in their satanic activity, but what does it mean that they were engaging in satanic activity? Well, just like back then, they're doing now, involving themselves in the occult, the practice of witchcraft, the practice of satanic rituals. That's happening present day as it was in Noah's day. And not only because of their practice, they produced a hybrid race, Nephilim. Nephilim have returned in this hour. Now, you may say, well, Rabbi, what does that mean? How do you know that the Nephilim have returned? Well, we're hearing our government and other agencies such as MUFON deal with and talk about the orbs and the lights that they're seeing in the sky above and strange craft. Even some people giving testimony that they have been abducted. Did that go on in Noah's day? Yes. And it's going on today. The days of Noah. So I want to encourage every last one. Like I said, we wasn't planning on being on, and I'm closing this out, to understand what it means to follow wholeheartedly after the Most High. Because the demonic activity that is happening with people all over, it's happening all over. And people are running to worship circles. And you know the sad part? They don't even understand what's happening. They don't even understand what's going on. And they lack the fundamental teaching and knowledge of discerning in clear accounts the days of Noah and the activity that went on back then that's going on right now. So tomorrow night, by the grace of the Most High, we will be back on and give more time into teaching and worship. By the grace of the Most High, 10 o'clock. So